always felt like there was something burning inside my heart, inside my soul, bright, beautiful, and somehow patiently waiting my recognition. Something I never knew how to truly recognize, could never for the longest time bring into focus. Um, and I had no idea how to let it out for the longest time. I'm Ember. I used to go by Trailblazer, and I was inspired to this name after going through the craziest soul quest of my life that I'm still surfing this wave. But in coming up in the tide, I have gone through what I believe is an incredibly interesting and deeply rich human experience of realizing my trans identity. And with everything going on in the political climate in the world, I thought it was important to add as many voices as we can within the space. And I think that not only have I been inspired by people who have done the same, deep, deep souls, deep spiritual people with so much love in their heart, not only within their own soul quest, but towards others and the way they create community and help out other people's quest. I've been inspired by them, um, and for me, I've always been someone who's used my raw vulnerability as a strength, which I think I'm also stepping into even more. And so that also has a certain personal propensity towards speaking in this space. And then throughout this experience, at least for me, I've taken it as a quest of like soul spelunking. In other words, like going as deeply as possible, using the most careful and delicate of heart instruments in order to peer into the previous fog of war that was the nature of my heart, soul, gender identity, individuality, and so the purpose of my channel and this video series then would be to see this journey as raw and authentic through my eyes and through my heart. Um, and I know that this is a difficult subject for most people. I guess primarily maybe I'm speaking to people who are on a similar quest at different stages, but also at large to add to the human experience in the sense that I believe that the true quest of consciousness, for example, in this cosmos, is to connect all possible nodes in order to see at the highest collective level. And so, in other words, all of reality is trying to see itself through itself. And the more individual human experiences we can weave together from a level of we rather than us versus them, I think we progress not only our societies, but our humanity, our collectivity, and the nature of consciousness itself. And so, in that vein, I want to sort of add to the noosphere here, the mimetic sphere of thought on trans ideology, trans identity, through the power of raw, authentic experience. Which also means that this is a very awkward thing in so many ways. It's extremely vulnerable. It's extremely raw, and I've been inspired by some other creators who um, have posted their stuff sort of months after, even though it's pretty contemporaneous. I feel like I'm bold enough to post it kind of alongside my process as much as I can, just to give you a real, authentic, and vulnerable look into what this looks like. And just to give like a little bit of my background, I guess you can already tell I'm a philosophical thinker. I'm somewhat of a magical thinker, although outweighed by my intense logical mind in so many ways. But regardless, that's the type of thought and discourse that you're going to hear here. And I'm someone who I have a very professional job. I have always strived to be the breadwinner for my family, have always strived towards masculine roles in my personal life as far as athletics and just the right type of degrees and being the breadwinner and just always trying to fit myself into that box again and again. And I'm not trying to go too deep into it in this intro video, but so basically, I know everyone's trans experience is different, and I'm very baby trans at this point, but and I'm 3 weeks into my HRT journey, and I have a lot to say about it. A lot of very, very positive and very interesting things to say. But regardless, in this intro video, I just want to say that like I came from a place that was very difficult to see um, with clarity the path that I'm walking now, even though it was always deeply intuitive in me. And I want to explain that process of bringing that into clarity. But basically, in my process, I was trying to be seen on so many different levels that I tried so hard to fit myself into a box of having a very masculine body that, people reflected back at me in various ways. My masculine role, my masculine job, uh, uh, all these different things that were basically, these in so many ways keeping me in a spot where I thought it would be so impossible to ever do anything like this because it was almost just another stage of denial to suggest that someone like me could never do something like this, especially, you know, too old to transition and all that type of stuff. So I know that's very common in the space. But I'm here to describe how deeply sacred the soul quest is. And so uh, I just want to, I guess, invite you along on this soul quest with me. And I am going to suggest that, this is going to be deep, it's going to be raw, it's going to be vulnerable, and I'll try to bring it to you as raw and vulnerable as I can. My name is Ember, and thanks for tuning in. Press all the buttons that you can to keep you locked into this. I appreciate it.